Welcome back to my channel. Today we are having a look at how to find an unknown angle in a right angle triangle using trigonometry. Now, as always, before we start solving a problem, we need to make sure we've got a good understanding of our three trigonometric ratios, which are sine, cos, and tan. Now, each of those ratios represents a specific relationship between the sides of a right angled triangle. Sine is the opposite side over the hypotenuse, cos is the adjacent side over the hypotenuse, and tan is the opposite side over the adjacent side. Now, when we're talking about opposite sides and adjacent sides, we're talking about those sides in relation to the marked angle. So I just want to take a moment to show you how we actually go about finding the unknown angle. So we always write out as the specific trig ratio of the marked angle is equal to the two sides. So in this case that I'm giving you, we've got sine theta is equal to A over C because A is the opposite to theta and C is the hypotenuse of that triangle. So what we'll end up with is an unknown of theta. Now, that is what we want to find out. So we make that the subject of our equation. So what that means is we want it on its own. So we want to get rid of the sign in front of theta. So like any equation, we're going to use inverse operation. So in this case, we use inverse sine. So what that means is just sine to the power of -1. Now, I'll just show you on your calculator that what that looks like is just, you've got your three trig buttons that you use on your calculator. You've got sine, cos, and tan. If we use our shift button, you will see that above the sine, cos, and tan buttons, you've got inverse sine, inverse cos, and inverse tan. So using the shift button allows you to access inverse trig ratios. So we simply write our inverse trig ratio of our two sides, and that's how we're going to solve our equation. So I'll just take you through solving a proper example where the sides actually have lengths. So if we're going to find the value of theta to the nearest minute, now always take note of the accuracy to which you've been asked to give your answer. In this case, it's the nearest minute. So we write out all the things we know. Looking at the angle, we've got our marked angle of theta and we've got the opposite side to that, which is 6, and the hypotenuse is 10. Because we're using the opposite and the hypotenuse, we are going to use sine. So we write that out using our given information, which is sine theta is equal to 6 over 10. Then we want theta on its own, so theta is equal to inverse sine of 6 over 10. And we pop that straight in our calculator, which gives us a value of 36.8698, blah, 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 blah. And then you press your degrees, minutes, seconds button to get your answer into degrees and minutes. So a nice quick one today, but just to summarize what we've looked at, we use the same principles as solving any other equation. So what I mean by that is we're using inverse operations. Now, it's really good to keep that word inverse in your mind. So we always start our working out using the appropriate trig ratio. So you work out whether you're using sine, cos, or tan. And please do not skip steps in your working out, okay? If your question's worth more than 1 mark and you make a mistake, you're going to end up losing marks. So make sure that you start with the appropriate ratio, write everything out as you're going so that A, you don't make mistakes putting it into your calculator, and B, you don't lose marks. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you found this helpful. Any questions, leave them below and watch out for more videos.